That's still so weird when that goat kicks in to let me know. I wanted a noise that I know I could hear, and it's just a goat screaming. And I hear it every damn time without any problem whatsoever, so... 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eh. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, that worked. So, I'm just assuming that we're going to stop at the edge of the compound.
Probably. I'm actually debating whether I should stop where I am.
Say, well, that one I took to the edge of the compound, and it has like 6 or 7 steps. So, hold on. 1, 2. Alright, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps.
Okay, I'm going to stop
2,
with
3,
this one
4,
because
5,
that's
6.
probably close to being the edge.
Yeah. Alright.
Which is good because I was just about out of cobblestone.
This is so weird. I mean, this is...
This is one of the stranger things we've decided to do.
Yeah, and that one's going to have to come down as a result, or soon enough. But, yeah, we'll probably start by building... When we figure out the highest point on this thing, I guess... Because we decided we kind of want to make the whole spawning chamber one flat area.
Well, sort of. It's gonna... No, it has to be subdivided into smaller chambers.
Well, yeah.
Because otherwise there's no way for the spawning to work, and also the water flow would be completely unmanageable. But yeah, I mean, it is basically going to be one continuous structure, just with little cells inside.
That way we can utilize the space on top.
Right. Which, I mean, we already have one farm built outside the perimeter this is going to cover, so, like, sunlight for growing stuff is not going to be an issue for that. But yeah, I mean, we're going to have a large space up here, so we might as well take advantage of the presence.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a big flat area. We could...
I don't know what the hell we're going to do with it, but it'll be here.
We could build a second giant fortress.
Potentially. Okay, so what we have to keep in mind is that these 4 water tines that we're making are going to be basically the arteries. And then there's going to be cross channels feeding into these from all the other cells.
Yeah, the main thing is we're going to have to start building the cells likely first. That way we can figure out how far they need to be spaced and where to build the channels.
Well, no, we already know how to space them, basically. Because all we're really doing is taking what we have in the chamber we have pre-existing and cloning that. We're basically just going to make that over and over again.
It's because it's simple and it
wall
works.
Wall to wall.
Yeah, it's simple, it works, it can be duplicated.
So the only thing we really need to do is measure. Maybe get some graph paper, I'm not sure.
Graph paper.
In the meantime, I want to go do something for our safety.
Safety helmets?
Well, that wouldn't really help for what I've got in mind.
Water wings?
Close!
Shame we can't have the nice, Entra wing things.
Well, that would require upgrading.
And I'm not really in a big hurry. I mean, I'm
morally opposed.
I know there's gonna come a time when we actually have to.
I still disagree with that, but,
Yeah.
I'm contrary.
But,
and hiccupy.
Yes, I've had that. I've been having that a lot. This cold I've got has just been utterly kicking my ass. Like, I was talking to Angel about it the other day, and she informed me that the symptoms I was having were similar to the ones her mother had when she went through menopause.
Well, I don't think you have to worry about that so much.
No, I do not, but it was one of those things of... I was sitting there going, I can't understand why, but my skin feels hot, and my internal organs feel freezing. And she was like, well, congratulations, you're going through menopause. Like, oh, lovely. And I was like, and I'm cranky, and now and then I just want to start crying or attack people at random. I was like, okay, you're also on your period. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, she can make those jokes.
Yeah, I can. I can repeat them and have people still be angry at me, but the difference is, if I asked her to, she'd hop on and back me up.
Right.
God, what was it? So, because of the way her job works, if she is working multiple jobs, she gets to charge for all 3 jobs as different hours. Like,
Okay.
It's essentially some sort of contractor work.
So let me guess. Recently she's billed for a day where she worked 24 hours straight.
Actually, today she worked 21 hours.
Ah.
It was not like 21 hours in a row, but because she was running back and forth from construction site to construction site, and it counted as a 21-hour workday.
Right.
Which, as she pointed out, a lot of people would be going in this situation, oh, well, you didn't actually work that hard, you blah, blah, blah. And she was like, no, I just, went and collected giant samples of concrete and then had to compress dirt down so that I could do a mathematical equation to figure out its maximum compaction rate. And then I had to take samples of everything to test it. Then I had to run around and do this, that, the other thing. Run from construction site to construction site. Hoist a giant box full of cylinders full of concrete onto my shoulders. And then, go to the next job. And he's like, so people are like, oh, you didn't work that hard. And the response was, fuck you.
Yeah.
Because it was, sure, she did not technically work 21 hours, but she did 21 hours of work in an 8-hour shift.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I get paid. I get paid, appropriately.
Yeah.
Except that she actually doesn't, and it turns out that the company she works for pays its employees, like, the absolute least for the job that they're doing.
Oh.
In this economy, that's still, like, $12 an hour starting pay, $18 an hour overtime, and almost every day is overtime.
Right.
And, but it's just, no, apparently...
Still kind of bullshit?
Apparently everyone else makes, like, $22 starting pay.
Oh.
And she was, my friend Eric, who actually works for them, and has worked for them far longer, was talking about how he got offered a job with the city back when he, thought that he was making a decent amount for the work he did, and he turned him down and was like, no, that's okay, I like this job, I get good pay. And then someone was like, well, as a city worker, you get starting pay at $28 an hour. And he went, okay, where do I sign up? And unfortunately, the day he showed up, they had already filled the position.
Whoops.
Because, whenever that job opens up, because for the amount of work they do, it's a fair payment. Whatever the hell they get paid, $12 an hour is a lot, or is, it's a lot by poor people's standard.
Yes.
But they actually do get treated fairly well by the company they're with, actually. So I'm like, well, that's the problem when you work for the city. You wouldn't be.
Yeah. Well, does she like the job?
Oh, she actually likes it because it gives her a great opportunity to yell at people.
I can see why this appeals to her.
Because
having spent the little bit of time I have with her, doing this in the past, yes, that makes perfect sense.
Because it's not that it's not that she just gets to yell at people. If everyone does her job, she is nice to them. She's even gone as far as to go out and buy everyone coffee and come the fuck back and be nice and everything. But the second anyone starts getting shitty with her, game is on.
Right.
So it's the fact is that she can literally, if someone is being an asshole with her, because she'll do her job no matter what. She's not gonna lie to screw someone over.
Uh-huh.
But it's like, all right, when you're doing a government job, there are margins for errors that you are and are not allowed to have.
Mm-hmm.
And the actual safe margin is something like, well, you can have like as much as 1% off compaction if you're building a building, and it will technically be safe because the margin of error is factored in.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone's being shitty to her, it'll be like, oh no, you're 1% off. Roll everything again. Yes, I know it takes an hour. Roll everything again.
No, I'm glad she's found a job that she likes that, pays her at least half decently.
Yes, and then, oh, you put water at the bottom. That's
Uh-huh.
it. Yeah, but then there's the, yes, my friend Eric, who, usually ends up just fucking off when he should be working and going to do other things.
Uh-huh.
Motherfucker acts like he is in some way a saint and he's like, I'm gonna find a new job. I'm gonna find a better job. Screw this, blah, 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 blah. And I know this motherfucker. He is not going to find a job where they let him fuck off this much.
Yeah.
And he's not, because they're all contractors. Everyone fucks off. It's part of the gig. He thinks he's gonna find a better job that will allow him to fuck off as much as he wants. It ain't gonna happen. I'll admit, the fun part is when we're driving around and, she's like, oh, and keep this in the front seat. What's that? And it's like, oh, it's the bill of lading for the nuclear density gauge that's in the back of the car. Like, it's mildly radioactive. It's like, oh, there's nothing mildly radioactive about it. Like,
well, that's okay. She didn't want to have kids anyway.
yeah, it's like, well, that's why it's in the large case that protects it.
Ah.
And it is required by law to be chained up while you're driving, which is why it is loosely attached to the oh shit handle.
Pardon me?
You've never heard it referred to that?
No?
You know the little handles on the inside roof of a car?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, those are the old oh shit handle. The thing you grab onto whenever the person you're driving with starts doing something ridiculous.
Yeah, I should point out that, like, for most of my life, we've had cars from the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Which didn't have oh shit handles, they had, coat hooks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those aren't good to use as oh shit handles. Just,
I like that now it looks like there's a giant cross through our house on the mini-map.
It's the, bracing beams.
Yes. We're supporting our lifestyle.
Okay, so...
Right.
Basically what I figure is... we should pick a height slightly above this. Is there just a block of cobblestone floating in the air over there?
Oh, that block of cobblestone I actually thought and put up to where I thought the top of the spawner chambers would end up being when we had built this.
Ah, so anyway, what I was saying is we should decide what height all the chambers should be.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, lay the frame of a floor.
Right, this is 101. Let me figure out... It'll have to be, of course, at
well,
least one block.
we're a little less than 40 above ground level.
Well, yeah, I just want to check what the highest point on any of these steps is so that we know where the floors will be. So do we want to lay, like, one giant floor? That way we can just build chambers?
Yeah, I mean, that's basically how it's going to have to work.
Okay, so 101, that is the highest point over there. So,
Okay, so that's farthest out from the center.
So...
Alright, so what are... Like, I can get on the map and see what the, left to right dimensions are.
Mm.
But, like, how tall is that spawning chamber from the interior floor to the ceiling?
2 blocks, 1 layer of floor, 2 blocks...
Oh, that's right, we got that sandwich, don't we?
Yep. But it only needs
We
to
wouldn't...
be...
Yeah, we don't need to do that if we're going to lay out a bunch of different cells.
Yeah, no, we can make each cell... It'll need to be 4 blocks tall total, a layer of water, a 1x1 thing for them to spawn on, 2 empty blocks for them to stand on, and roof directly above that.
we're gonna need. Okay, so the whole structure is gonna need to be 5 tall because there's gonna need to be 3 blocks of interior space, so they have a block space to stand on and fall in the flowing water.
Let me go over there because we're gonna need to tear this down anyway soon. We might as well break it open and